Hey guys, it's Kip here from KDC Marketing, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to use forms in Wix Studio. So at the bottom of my page here, my home page, I have a form, get a free quote. And so we're going to create a form similar to this. So I'm going to create a new section and I'm going to make it a 2-column layout, and I'm going to add a form into the website. So I just go to the Elements button and I'm going to get a contact and forms, and I'm going to create a new form. So Wix Studio has two ways that the form works. So on the back end here is more of the structure on the form, and then on the front end is the design of the form. So I'm going to create a form from scratch here: first name, last name, email, and a submit button. So I just drag and drop. You can see it's pretty easy. They have some preset fields here for contact. They have some general fields. So if you want a drop down or a single choice or a link, they have some other more advanced fields, and then they have some styling fields. So if you want to add a header, for example, and maybe this is going to be your contact form, then you can add that there. And then they also have text, so you can add this as well. You can say something like, please fill out the form and we'll be in touch with you soon. So there's those two different elements, the layout elements that you can use. And then once we get this how we want it, then we can do a couple of other things too, which are pretty cool. So right now, if we wanted to make this form required, we just click into settings and we would check this box as a required field, and you'll see it gets the asterisk there. We could also add placeholder text if we wanted to, and that would be something like enter your first name, and then it would show up in our form here. So I'm not going to do that for every field, but you can do that. And then also you can also do some really cool styling things on your form here. So for example, let's say that I wanted 2 columns here instead of 1. All I have to do is drag this field there down, and same with this one, and then I can add these side by side. So maybe I want them side by side instead of top down, so it's first name, last name, email. So I can totally do that. And then same with my button. All of these fields are drag and drop, so I can make them as large or as small as I want. The other thing is if you want to have a field that's hidden, so maybe you, for example, you wanted to pass a field through the form that's hidden that the customer doesn't see, the way you would do that is you would click on the form and then you would click hide field. So that's pretty technical. Most people won't ever need to do that, but if you do need to do that, that's how you would hide the field in the form. So it's there, but it's not really displayed on the front end. Okay, so once I have my form here, I'm in the edit section. I want to make sure I click save, or else it's not going to save, and I'm going to change the name right now to contact form. So I'm going to do that really quickly. I'm going to save this, and then I'm going to click save over here. This is so important. If you don't save your work, you'll lose your work, which is kind of annoying, but that's just how it works. So you got to click save often, and then you can preview your form. So you can actually test it out right here. So I can put in my name, I can put in my last name, and I can put in my email. I'll put this in here, and then I could check this box and I could hit submit. And so you can test how everything's working, if everything's functioning right, and you can go back to edit. Once you do have your form submissions come through, they'll be here in your submissions table. So you can see them here once you get some coming in. And then also, I forgot to mention this before, but you can customize your button, what happens after they hit submit. So maybe it shows them a message, or it can redirect to an external URL, and you can customize this a little bit. The other thing is there is rules you can add. So you can add rules in like an if-then statement. So it might be like if they selected this option, show them this field. You can do that in here. You can also add pages. So you could add a page too, and you'll see as soon as I do this, this becomes a next button and not a submit button. So this would be like if you wanted to have multi-page forms. Maybe on the first page, it's all contact information. And since I'm in the industry of web design, maybe on the second page, it's all about branding. And then maybe on the third page, it's all about different competitors or whatever it might be, right? You could have a multi-page form in here. So it is possible. And these are also drag and drop. And you can customize these quite a bit. to get them how you want them. So I'm going to delete that for now. That's not typical that you would need that, but if you do, that's how you do it. So I'm going to save this form so you can see what happens. So my form shows up here, and right off the bat you can tell it's not designed well. So like I said before, the structure of the form is what we were just editing on the back end, but the design of the form happens here on the front end. So we go into settings and we go to layout, and here's where we can start customizing some things. So I'm going to give everything a 24 pixel padding to it, just to give it some space to breathe a little bit. And you can see now it's looking a little bit better. And then we can also design things, so we can give it a background. So maybe we don't want it to be white, maybe we want it to be blue or gray or whatever it might be. So we can change the background color, and here's where you get pretty much all the design options you're going to need for a form. It is a little bit more limited than some other elements, but it does have some customization options. So now that I've got this form kind of how I like it, it also works with our stretch feature here. So I'm going to put some padding in this cell. Maybe I want some 3% around the cell, and I'm going to stretch this to that padding once I get that out of my way here. And there we go. So now it filled in that box. So I've stretched it to the box. So maybe you have your contact form over here, and then you have your image, and this might be just a image of whatever you might want it to be. So you've got your form here, and then it's ready to go pretty much. So you have your first name, last name, email. They check this box if they want to subscribe. They hit submit. So everything's pretty much ready to go here. I might customize this a little bit more. Like I might give some spacing in my section to my columns. I might give them a little bit of space. So maybe I'm going to add 24 pixels in between them, etc. But everything's pretty close to being ready. So that's how you create forms. I hope this video was helpful, and I will see you guys in the next video.